Hello, good morning, happy Monday. How you all doing today? Uh, my day has started out a little bit interesting. We have a new Rust version, which is always nice to have. I went to start the stream manager this morning, and it errored out. And for something about the server side or something else trying to like basically get that going. So unfortunately, we won't have that live right now. So we won't have the message for hello Q or anything else like that. We'll have to add that into our to-do system to sort of fix it up and get it back up and running again. Esitu, hello. How are you doing today? How was your weekend? Oh, and before I forget, we have a Zilby. Looking down on us. I should put him in a better place. Let's see if I am over here. Zilby, you can be over here. Okay, been busy. Don't have too long today. First EyeAP stream you have seen, so might need a little introduction. Okay. So EyeAP stands for is basically it's a centralized authentication service. And so I was thinking, like in my mind, I was thinking sort of like it's like a central tower where applications would go around it, right? Like it's where authentication is. And my mind immediately went to Eye of Sauron. Also because, it's what everything goes through. It has to see everybody. It has to know everything. It has to know whether or not you're authorized to even do stuff. And then obviously you can't do that. So EyeAP is that's what it is. It's a little playful name because also I can't use Sauron. That would be a problem. Not facial tracking for airports. No, correct. It is not facial tracking for airports. Also, this doesn't have the ability to blue screen of death all airports either. So sorry about that. All right. Well, this was a fun. I started this running right before the stream started, and it took like over 5 minutes for this to finish compiling and running. So hopefully everything is working as expected. Now, for the authentication side of this, we are using FusionAuth, and this isn't really a full application that we're building, but rather it's sort of like a playground, as it were. It's we're trying to determine whether or not FusionAuth would be a good choice for us to go with this EyeAP, and then also maybe do I want to do some courses on it. And the more I'm using it, the more I like it. But the more I realize that it needs like courses, documentation. It's really tough to actually get started if you're a beginner with it. It's one of those like, what are you doing, Zilby? Okay, well that's certainly a way to get around the desk. He rubbed my HDMI port hard, so it reset. I don't know if you saw that. Actually, it looks like no. Okay, it's back. All right. Well, now I've got hair covered everywhere, so that's good. Anyways, so let's take a look at our plan here. We have as an unauthenticated user, I want to log in. I believe that this is the only one that I have really set up right now, but I think the other ones will start moving a little bit faster once I get there. Plus, also, for some of these, I'm not actually sure. Like the more I'm learning about it, I don't actually know I can necessarily do some of these things. We're gonna find out. It's one of the problems that I have with their documentation is that it doesn't necessarily tell you the full story about which keys or tokens you need for their API. Like they have an API for everything. Like I can create an application in FusionAuth via, you know, the console. Just like log into it and do that. And here, let's take a look at that right now. So if I go to, that's that one. Oh, here it is, FusionAuth. So need to log in. Is it Brooks at Mailinator? Wait, no, it is. No, I'm forgetting which password I used. Okay, I think it is. No, okay, hold on. I need to relook at my password. It's been half a week. Uh-oh. El and Riquidor. No. I refuse. Okay. Where are you? No, you go over there. Now, one of the benefits of FusionAuth is that it's 100% local. So this this username and email that or username and password. Uh-oh. Bots? That's two really quickly. That's a danger. So let's see. I want to go to code, Brooks builds, EyeAP. And I want, do I have a .env? Oh, it's in front end. That's where it is. No, it is not in there. Oh, right. No, it's not even in front end. It's in FusionAuth. Okay, I have a FusionAuth directory where I put it. That's where it is. Okay, so then I can look at this and I can see. Okay, so. Oh, I started. Okay, so I started with the wrong. Okay. I was very wrong with what password I used. All right, so here we go. This is the interface for FusionAuth. And it looks like, you know, it's similar enough to any of the centralized authentication sort of hosted services. The sort of differences are here. It's a company, so it's a for-profit company. It is I can't remember if there's even a part of FusionAuth that's open source or not. I should probably ask them if that's the case. And then so they're basically in competition with something like Auth0 or Okta. And the claim to fame is that they have a community edition. This is what it is. It is free. You can host it locally with Docker. You can obviously also host it in production. And their community edition is pretty good. Like there's not too much that you need with a license for. They have offered me a free license. I have not accepted that at this time. I want to sort of like see how far we can get with it, but then I eventually might take that, sort of like explore some of those other options to see like, okay, you know, what's the difference? Like, you know, do you really want to pay them for this? Because the charges do go up quite a bit quickly. Like it goes from like, hey, free edition to hundreds of dollars per month. So it is one of those things where you have to keep that in mind. That being said, free version is pretty good so far. So what have we done so far? We have an application, EyeAP here. It gives us, we are using, we have this really simple yew application here. So I go to the login page and then I click our login button and that logs us in. So there's a we are using the code grant for this. Now, the interesting thing about the code grant is that it doesn't, code grant just gives you a code back. And if you're familiar with OAuth, a code is kind of not really helpful. You can't make any API calls with it. It is an intermediary token that you can use to get another token. And you need the client secret in order to get that token. So generally speaking, you need some kind of server and backend. FusionAuth has an API called hosted backend, which is the equivalent of just setting up like a little Axum application that just grabs your token, grabs your code, does the rest of the handshake, gets your token, and sets a cookie on your browser to this domain. So it's to localhost, but on theirs. So it's localhost 99011. That's where the cookie is. But it is same site lax, which means that if I go to, let's say, Asura here, that's also on localhost, just different port. It will get those same cookies because it's the same host here. And that means I can now authenticate and do the thing. And that is the key for like as high possible security as we can have, but also not having to create our own server. We still get to have, I don't want to use the word serverless because I don't think it's necessarily correct in this instance. We still get to have our front end SPA without having to write our own backend and using third-party services like FusionAuth and Hasura for our backend, and we're good to go. So I am happy about that. And I think that the way this is configured is actually a little bit safer than the way Auth0 recommends you use it out of the box, which is also something nice. Okay, so anyways, we want to log in. Now, if I want to get user information, this is actually pretty easy at this point in time. I can just hit it with user info, and then we can maybe display that. And so that's the code we want to do right now, is actually like hit our user information, hit the user endpoint, and get info back. And we need to actually like write the code for that, which is right here. Okay, get user info. Now I am hard coding some of this stuff in here, but that's mostly because I'm not really like that worried about this. This is a temporary app anyways, so I'm not gonna go that much into trying to like make everything perfect. Okay, so response, I want to go to API user. I'm gonna do a get request. Credentials, so include. So this is the equivalent of like secure mode or something, where when you do the fetch, it also sends the cookies. So that's basically what I want to do. Send the cookies with the request. And then I should get this back and see what the response is. But we need to convert this into JSON for us to see it. And I believe that I can actually do a rapid API request, and we can see this ourselves. Remind me later. Okay, so if I want get user info, so here's this user, but I need a token. Oh, but I can actually see from previous times. This is what I got back. That's what it looks like, and really not easy to see, but bigger. I get our user object back here. So for me to look at it, we have a user object that has like active, if I'm an active user. I put a little bit of data in there. So I have like a company as part of my user. I get my email address. I get my ID, which I believe is the actual ID in FusionAuth. Let's double check. Yes, that is exactly the ID. So I get the ID back. Insert instant, last login instant, and last update instant are interesting. These looks like seconds, so epoch. No memberships, no password change required, so a lot of good metadata. Preferred language, I never set that for this user, but it's nice to know that they have a section here for me to look at it. Registration, so I can see that I am registered to, well, the app that I logged into. And I don't have two-factor set up for this account. And I've verified, I've just basically said that this account was verified, but I think we can also do a non-verification thing and do some fun email stuff. That will come later though. But okay, so what I would probably care the most about with this user is either my email address, or can I have like my, what if I can have like a name? Because I don't see an actual like name here. So I can just get email. So we're going to have user is an object and then email is a string. So if I say like we have a pub struct FusionAuth user, and that's going to have a pub email, which is a string. We need Surday, don't we? We need Surday and Surday derive. How do I want to add this in? Because I have Docker compose watch in here right now. I think I need to like actually drop into the container. So Docker compose exec, not to, what do I have here? We have, let's see, you're running FusionAuth, Postgres. Oh, EyeAP. Okay, so I just called it EyeAP. Perfect. So Docker compose exec EyeAP bash. Oh. There's no bash. Shell. There we go. Okay, that works. PWD, where am I? I'm right here. So I should be able to do a cargo add Surday. That gives me you. And then I want with the feature Surday derive. And then that should be enough for what I need. We'll need to restart our LSP so it sees that we now have Surday. Just derive. Oh, I didn't even notice. You're right. Is there a way to remove a feature from this? I don't remember if there is. Okay, so now we can derive. I want to serialize. Deserialize. Why aren't you finding it? Did I? Oh, maybe also I need to cargo tummel and That's the wrong cargo toml. On you front end cargo toml. You are the wrong. I see. Okay. I'll just do it myself. Serde. I want version. You are 1.0 with features derive. Okay. I'm now worried. What did that update? My cargo ad, where did it go? I don't know. Is this it? No. Okay, whatever. Okay. Now we LSP restart. Okay. Now can you find this? There we go. Import deserialize, import serialize. We're good to go there. So then FusionAuth user. Oh, but then it's user, right? So really this, okay. FusionAuth user is correct. Then we have another struct, which is response. Get user info response. And then this one is pub. I think it's user, right? It's user, singular. And that is a FusionAuth user. Okay, so I want to take you. Now they have this. I want to convert this into JSON. We will await it. And we will unwrap you. We'll expect it. You. Okay, we are converting user info to Rust struct. And then you are upset because you don't know what you're supposed to be, right? So you are going to be a I get user info response. And finally, if I implement debug on you, I believe I can just print this out. So we can just say glue. Do I have glue? I do. Glue console log user info. I want. Oh, I have to actually do it like this. Response. Like that. Are you going to be happy with that? No. All right. Debug mode that. Turn that into a string and format that out. Okay. Cool. We got it. So why are you saying that you're never used? I'm console logging it right here. Response. It's fine. Maybe because I'm not calling get user info. Maybe that's it. Okay, so in front end, in our main library, let's see. Now I did it. Okay, so what was I doing here? Provider metadata, discover async, identity provider stuff. I don't think this is anything I need to use. Oh yeah, I was trying to do some like crazy stuff with OpenID Connect. I don't need to now. I know I no longer need to do any of this. What I do need to do is make the request and see what we get back. And I'm guessing that we're going to get an error back on one of them because we haven't authenticated yet. Although we have right now, we're fine. So if I log out for some reason, then we're no longer good. So I think I should do a use effect. Should I do a use effect with for a dependency? When the dependencies are changed, probably the correct thing would be with a dependency, but I don't have something right now for that. Okay, so right now, let's just make this call. So we'll do a spawn local, an async block, and then I want to call that. I want to call that that URL. So we're going to call the API get user info and await this, and that should just log things out for us. Now, it'll run this multiple times, which is always a fun thing. But that's the price we pay. Ooh. Cross-origin request blocked. The same origin policy disallows reading the remote source. Okay, so I need FusionAuth to let cores to open cores in. And here's my my unwrap, not an unwrap, my expect. I did at least one unwrap. But okay, network error. So if I come back into here, I believe that under the application, we can edit yew. All origins are allowed unless specific origins are defined. I don't think that's right. Is there something specific with cores that I need to enable? Because that says everything's allowed in, right? Skimus, hello. The webcam is lagging. Oh no. Okay. Oh, I unplugged some stuff and plugged it back in, so maybe that caused problems. Hold on, let me see if I can fix it. Where is my cam? So I have it as match output, which is at 30 frames per second. So let me just set it to 30 frames per second. And also I can deactivate and reactivate it. And I think that should reset it and make it good again. Let me also double check. My output, my video output is set to 60 frames per second. Okay, so we are at 60 frames per second. I haven't lost any frames or done anything weird like that. So hopefully things should be fine. Let me know if it starts straying again. We can try to fix it. Also, I forget I say that because I no longer have my hello queue. But Skimus, hello. How are you doing today? Now I wonder, is there like a setting, is there like a course somewhere else? API keys, nothing in here. Maybe system course. Cross, okay. So enable course. Enable the access control, allow credentials response to header to indicate to the browser whether to expose the response to front end. Allowed methods. For right now, let's just try get. And allowed headers. Can I do wildcards? I can. So I can say let's try that. So allow UN. Save you. Come back to this and we'll try it again. I'm still getting a course. Access control allow origin missing. I wonder if I need more. If I don't put any of you in here, is it star? No. So let's do post. Ooh, options maybe is needed. I don't know about all these. I'm just going to do them all. You know what? Here, let's just say everybody. Let's go ahead and put you in there. Everybody all the time doing all the things. Okay. Did not get a CORS error this time. Now I got a different type of error. What happened? I got a 401. Okay, so if I try to log in again. Converting user info to REST struct. Okay. Error end of file while parsing a value. Okay, so that's a different response. If we take a look at our network, we had this 200. Our response is not correct. Huh, looks like a 401 error though. Oh, you know what? I wonder if my user ID that I'm trying to get at is not correct. Diablo, hello, how are you doing today? What sort of weirdness is going on here? We are FusionAuth weirdness or authentication type weirdness. Okay, so if I grab you, the fun part about hard coding our user ID, is this the same user ID? It looks like it is. I'm going to localhost 9011. It is coming from my browser, so it doesn't have to be aware of like what Docker container it's in. That should be fine. And then go from there. And so if I make this same request here, and then I need the new token, which I can grab. Access token, okay. So copy the value. Okay, That works. I'm able to get my user information from that. Should be a cat stream instead. We started with the cat. We did start with a cat, and he hung out at this window for a few minutes before he decided that he would much rather go somewhere else. Sorry about that. But I agree. It would be much better with a cat stream. I know. Okay, so I know I have the right URL. I'm trying to send the credentials. Controls what browsers do with credentials. Cookies, HTTP authentication entries, TLS. Okay, so that should be fine. Now, this one went in the header for authorization, but I think with cookies, we send that. Include same origin, omit. I think include is what we want here. I send, await, unwrap. Oh, but it says that we were getting a... That's interesting. Where is this actually going? Okay, so I went to login. Disable the cache and... Oh, this one. Okay, so I made the request twice. So I went to HTTP localhost 9011 API user with user ID. So that's all correct. Refer policy, response headers, request headers, cookie, FusionAuth. Okay, so it sent the cookies. So we should, hopefully the access token is in there. Schizophrenic, hello, how are you doing today? Where do I store the SID and access token and refresh token? All of that is being stored inside of cookies that is set by FusionAuth on my browser. So we can actually see them here in storage, cookies for you, and it's app.at here. So I have app.at, app.exp. So at is the access token. We have an identity token and then a bunch of FusionAuth related tokens as well, things as well. But this hit itself is the token. And so what I'm hoping is that when I make the request out, it sends the cookies with it. Request headers, here's the cookies. App IDT. So I'm expecting that app.at is also in there. Yeah, here it is. App AT expiration. Okay, so all the cookies are in there. That's good. FusionAuth is a good one. That's what I've heard. Now, no response data available for this request. Why is that? And it's a 401 error, so it doesn't send anything back, which feels weird. And there's the app@, so that's the request cookies. Okay. Is there anything I need to do to enable this, to enable the user to grab this. Oh, you know what? Can we test this in Rapid AI, Rapid API? Can I set cookies? I can, right? I can just say cookie. Yeah, let's turn off this authorization one. Let's find headers, cookie, copy value. Throw you in there. Okay, so that's all the cookies being sent in. So if I hit you, now I get a 401. So I'm not allowed to get my user information. Okay. So if I use my access token as a bearer token, I am allowed. But I don't directly have access to it. Is it? It can't be a scope problem because I have access to my user information with the access token. So the access token is good. I guess this is part of the things that I get confused about FusionAuth with, is why am I not able to get the user info? Like, is it a scope that I'm missing? Like, I have email scope, so I want to get that. Those are templates for things. We have the JOT, that's all fine. And I don't think it's any of these. Authorization code, refresh token, I think those are fine. Oh, and I'm not populating Lambda. Oh, you're right. Yeah. Populate Lambda happens for the JOT that we get, which is also just fine. Now, for the... Let's open this up in the other browser. Now they have all these API, all of this API information for us. And they tell us here, okay, not API authentication. Okay, not that because we're using the cookies. JOT authentication using cookies. When an API is marked with a red key icon, it means you may call this API without an API key. Instead, provide a JSON web token. Right. Okay. In that case, you may omit the authorization header. So if the cookies are being sent, I omit the authorization header. Cookie example. If a cookie is provided on a request to an endpoint which accepts an API key or a JOT, the API key will be preferred. The following is an HTTP GET request with the JOT access token provided as a cookie. access token equals. Wait a second. Access token equals. Didn't they name it something very different? We have app at expa, app IDT, FusionAuth at. Oh. Oh, I see. Can I rename you? No. Okay. Hold on. Copy value for just the access token. And you're just access token. Okay. If I just say the one cookie we're going to send is access token, is it equals sign or is it colon? It's equals. Okay, so if I send you, that works. Oh, no. Okay, so the problem is that FusionAuth is setting the access token into a cookie, but it's looking for a different name cookie when it's consuming the API. That's not that's not helpful. So is there a way for me to state which cookie, like what's the name of the cookie? Because otherwise, I wonder, like, I'll have to do something drastic. I wonder if I can, does it even send any cookies in the request? Yes, it actually does. So we can see the request here. Here's the request that I did. This is the request that I'm sending out. So I'm sending out all these cookies. So it sends out app.at as the access token. The problem is that it's looking for access underscore token as the cookie, which is, so all I need to do is change this from an app.at to an app. Here, I can do this. Just to see if it works. If I take you and I just say access token like this, there, it's updated. I hit refresh. There's our user. So we get the user back. And everything is just fine. Okay, so I want to go back into hosted backend. This is where it's setting the cookies for us. Let's read through this to see if maybe we can find something where it says what we could do. Yeah, so like cookies set by the hosted backend, app.at. And I wonder if we need to do some more configuration of the application to, like, say, store it in a different area. The hosted backend endpoints will set the following cookies, which are secure and have same site value of lax. Okay. There's their client-side storage. When you are making requests against these endpoints from your JavaScript application, equivalent for us, ensure that you are sending cookies as well. Okay, yeah, so with credentials true. And we do have all of these cookies. FusionAuth will set the domain on these cookies to .example.com, where example is the domain name that FusionAuth is serving from either the domain or any subdomain. Yeah, so localhost is essentially what we're sending. For example, if your app, yeah, okay, we're good there. Login. The API will start an OAuth 2 authorization code grant by building a valid request and then redirecting the browser to our /authorize endpoint. If the user is not logged in, the user will be presented with the login page and prompted for credentials. Okay, so that's the normal thing. So we start the flow. Okay. Okay, we don't need to do callback directly. Oh, they have a special, oh, there's a special URL for us to hit to get our user information. Oh, so I don't get the other user. I don't go users. I go hosted backend me. Oh, so I just want to go to app me. Got it. I got it. So I want to go to localhost API app me, and that should get me the information. There we go. Okay. To make sure, okay, so this actually should fail again because 401, I changed the name of that cookie. So let's go ahead and log in again. No? Missing field user. What? What do you respond with? Oh, you don't respond. Oh. Oh, we looked at this, didn't we? So it's working. The problem is that the only data that I have is my ID. Is there any other data? Like, is there any way for me to get like information about myself? Okay, wait. Get info about the user. So example request, okay, that's good. What am I gonna get? I'm gonna get application ID, birth date, twice, email address of the user, email verified family name, name. Okay, why didn't I get that? Am I missing a scope? Okay, example JSON response with strict scope handling and the profile, email, and phone scopes in the token. Profile, email, phone. Profile, email, phone are set on that. That's a good question. When I log in, redirect to localhost 8081. Oh, that's coming back to me. Okay, so login state, scope. Oh, yeah. Well, that's a problem. My scope is OpenID only. So obvious, yeah. Okay, well that would definitely do it. So I want I need URL encoded, and I forget what the never expose your user generated. Okay, so let's remove that. So if I want I want profile. Except I need to URL encode email and profile. That's what I want to code. Isn't there a web thing where I can just do like a URL thing? Something about encode URI. That's what it is. Encode URI, and I want the string email. Is it space profile? Yeah, that's what I want. Okay, so we're only going to get the email and the profile now. So let's try this. So let's relog in to get the new scope, the new token. Console couldn't convert, but we should be able to see. Oh, we got a 401. We got a 401 error. What scope do I need? Do I have to have that OpenID scope? Okay, hold on. What was this? This was OpenID. Okay, so let's do OpenID email and profile. Oh yeah. Okay. So I can't not include the OpenID scope. I have to have that scope in, so it puts in the UI, the ID. I am logging in with username and password. Yeah. So the thing is that I am already logged into their system. So when I log in here, it sees that I've already done it and it redirects me automatically, so I don't have to put it in again right now. I could delete all my cookies and show that process again. But that gets it. So I need that to see. Okay, I have the sub, but then I also have the email. So unfortunately, I can't really stop this from coming in. And it looks like what's coming back is no longer email. It's just email. Email is the only thing I really care about at that point. So in my get user info response, this is just going to be email. And I want a string. And then here we'll do email verified. And that will be a Boolean. And so we'll see this logged out. So there's the email that I used along with the email verified. I believe that I can add more information in here when I created an account, and I just didn't. Like I could probably say something like, let's go find it. Yeah, because I don't have like a first name. I don't have a username, but I think I can give that. Where is... Yeah, edit profile, so I can say something like Zerker, if I could spell, first name Brooks. So if I just do those things, then I should get first name and username as well. And just guessing, I should be able to do pub first name string username string. Okay, so if I do that, no, it didn't like it. Missing veiled first name. Is it first underscore name or dash name or something silly like that? What did you do? Don't do that. I double clicked it. It calls it first name in the app, but it really is given name and preferred username. Okay. Given underscore name? Yeah. Given name, preferred username. There we go. Now I can see that information. Am I going to use FusionAuth for my LLM? I am. We are testing out to see whether or not I want to do this and at least get the knowledge to be able to do it right if I do that. So the I'm growing to more and more like it the more I know it, but I'm also seeing that there's a lot of these like little things that I have to know in order to do this right. So I'm happy I'm doing it sort of like this test thing first. I can't really like teach it until I know this either. Nemesis, hello. How are you doing today? You love the content? You recently found the channel? Well, awesome. Glad to have you as part of the community. Okay, so I got the user info. So I can get that. Now, I want to display our user info, right? Okay, so to display our user info, let's just, this is the page that we're on. Maybe I want like a user profile page and like that'll display out there. So after auth login, let's have it redirect us to profile page or something else. Teach this with Angular. A lot of people will buy the course. Ooh, okay. Let me write down. So potential ideas for a course, like one thing I'm thinking about is I can do this in modules too, because I don't have to actually teach it, like create like a specific course for FusionAuth and Angular. I could do, here's a module course on FusionAuth. Here's a module course on FusionAuth with Angular, like just the connecting parts. Require prerequisites, take the FusionAuth course first. So like that, those are definitely options to do. And I have access to a lot of Angular content already, so I might actually not need too much to do for the Angular side of it. So yeah, things to consider. But yeah, it's a good idea. Okay, how do I want to display this now? I need to basically, what I probably want to do is as soon as I log in, no, as soon as I refresh the page, we need to start storing things in, which means we need yew.rs. And it looks like we are on 010. Do wish like they would have some features in here, but let's hope we don't need to do anything like that. Okay, let's add and you. We're gonna need. Okay, so we want to go to front end. source. Maybe we'll just call this store.rs right now. If I remember correctly, without actually looking at the documentation, we can just call this store. Maybe I'll call it main store. I do know that I can also do like a lot of different types of stores too, and like grab things in and out. I go back and forth on like exactly how small and tight to define every single store. I think we'll just do a main store for this. And we'll want probably a loading state to know if we're loading. So maybe we have like a pub authenticated is gonna have to be a Boolean. We can have a user. So I'm gonna want a pub struct, maybe a user. So pub user is gonna be a user. But it's possible that we're not logged in, which means that that should be an option user. So it's a none if we're not logged in yet. And then if we're then I don't even need this authenticated anymore. It just becomes a some or a none as a way to tell if we're authenticated. For user, we're going to have a pub. Let's just get the email. It's a string. And username. Just string. And for right now, that's probably all I really care about displaying, as it were. And then do I need to set? Yeah, I need to set like if that's a store, which then has these things in it. So I'll go ahead and copy you. Okay, so you should be fine now. We're going to come back to our library. We're going to get the user info. Okay, so we need to make the user info return the user. But of course, we're not always going to be authenticated, which means that if we're not, I need to return nothing at all. So we're going to have to return an option with the get user info response. Okay, so we'll just get this. Don't need to log you out anymore. Before we do a JSON, I need to see what this response is, though. So I need to say if our response, don't I get like a status? Oh, you're freaking it out. No? Oh, you're wrong. Okay, hold on. That's what's going on. Okay, so if response is in a 200, okay, so if you are okay. Hey, Diablo, are you still here? Guess who is stopping by? Want to jump up there? No? Hey. Okay. Cat on the ground. I don't have a really good way to hold that camera on him though right now. So I'll have to wait until he goes someplace where I actually can get a camera on him. Okay, so if okay, let's do if not okay. So if the response is not okay, I want to do an early return. So we're going to return a none. And that's it, right? Otherwise, what was that, Zilby? Otherwise, I want to return the response, get the JSON, await, expect, and return a thing. So now it knows what it's turning into, and then it becomes the get user info response if that exists. Excellent. Need coffee, yeah. There so Zilby was just here. We were able to see him. He then proceeded to play with my backpack until he like rolled over, hit something, freaked out, and ran away. As cats do. Okay, so gives users info, response this. Okay, so now we get the response out. We're going to go back to the library. So this is going to be the so we have this user. I only care if we actually have the user, right? So let's do an if let for this. So if let some user. Okay, so if let some user, if we get the user from this, I want to stuff this into our yew.rs, which means that we need to let it's a tuple now, right? It's a dispatch and store, or is it store and dispatch? Use store. Yeah, oh, use store, and I have to tell it it's the main store. Okay, I did get this opposite. So we're store and dispatch for the store here, which is fine. I want to move that dispatch in here. Ooh, I want to double move it, but I can't. So we're gonna have to clone it in here first. Gonna move async. Nope. Async move. To get dispatch into here, we have the user now. So we're gonna do a dispatch. I want to reduce mute. We have our store. And I want to say store.user. Now I need to convert this into the appropriate user, right? And we have a what type? We have a get user info response. So for store, whoa, what are you? Oh, you need to implement. Yeah, okay, you need to implement those. Those are fine. Actually, partially cool. Do I need to implement because everything else also implements it? No. Okay, we're fine then. Okay, so for this specific user, I want to impl from something user get user info response. I already forgot what it was. Get user info response. Okay, so from that for user. Okay, so from we have our value, get user info response, and I want to return self, and then we're going to have email is going to be value dot email. Username is going to be value dot preferred username. Okay, we're good to go. So then back to our main library, store.user. We can just set this to be user.into. No, it has to be sum. Sum user.into. Okay, so now after we refresh, we should have access to our user. We're not using a store, so I'll just go ahead and underscore u. And I would love to add a route in for like a profile page. So let's create that. All right, so front end. Profile page. Okay, what is our function component going to be called? It's probably just profile, right? Or profile page. Oh, wait, I forget. I don't change it here. I said it here now. Pub function profile page like that. I don't think we need any. That's HTML. Okay, what do I want to do? I want to grab the user information. So I guess like the first thing that we need is a use effect to check to see if we're logged in or not. So, and then I need the store from that. So I have our store, and then I'm not going to use the dispatch as far as I know. Are you upset because I'm not returning? I'm not doing a thing? No, you're just, okay. Okay, so we grab you. We'll do a use effects. How do I want to handle this? If I am not logged in, I just don't care. Maybe I don't even need a use effect at all. Maybe I don't need this. We just have our store, and we're just gonna have some HTML, and we'll have a here. We'll just do this section. We can have an h2 tag for our profile. And then let's do, I mean, just really simple. Just do a p tag, and we'll say username. Oh, username is that, and then I can't remember. Do I do two of these together if I want to like add them in? We'll do store. Oh, but I have an option, don't I? I have an option. So how do I want to turn this into the snippet of code for it? I guess what I could do is I can say store dot user store dot user dot unwrap or default. Username. Okay. You're unhappy. Cannot move out of an RC. Oh, right. I don't want to move out of you. Which reminds me how many times you have to do clone. Oh, but it's not there. You want me. Okay, so this is actually going to be easier if I just create a getter method on the store itself and then go from there. So if we have off of the main store, so main store user, I can do an if statement that will allow us to do like unwrap stuff inside the profile. Okay, so to make sure we have the user or not. So then we get here user username, and then let's actually change these to string attribute values. So I need to think we can into those. Yes. Okay. So then back to here. I actually probably want to do something like we have profile here. We're going to say if store dot user is none. If your is none, I want I think I need to do an actual like HTML. I don't think I can just do a snippet like this. Let's try it. So if I do p profile username. Okay, first off, I want to see if this is working. Oh, but I can't. Hold on. We can't do anything yet because we have to wire it all up. I guess that is kind of helpful. Okay, so we need to go into our routes. So profile 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 profile. Okay, so that adds in there, and then I think in the main, no, we have a nav, right? Okay, route to profile. Profile. Okay. So now we can see here's our profile. If I come here, profile username, excellent. And if I hit refresh for a second there, it is loading as it's doing the request to go grab the user information. So excellent. We have that going. So now to get the actual username and display it, I want to I don't remember how to do multiple things together. I could format this and just do a format. That might be how to do that. Oh, but I don't think I need to do a format. I think it's just username colon. Can I just do like a comma? And then just something else like store dot user dot unwrap username. Not comma. Not this unexpected token. Ooh, cannot move out. I want to as ref, I think. So as rep. Cannot move out of here. So now we'll clone you. Oh, wait, no. As cloned. There's an as cloned, right? Isn't there like an as cloned or something? Ah, come on. Come on, help me out here. I just want some. Just give me what it is. As. Not as. I thought there was like a cloned. Is that something else? I guess. Okay, fine. We'll do an as ref. As ref to get that. And then we'll have to unwrap you, which we can safely do. And then we'll have to clone you. This is what we're going to use. So except I put you in the wrong place. Okay. Okay, you go there. And I don't need you at all. Okay, so now you are upset because of why? Not satisfied. I wonder if I need to wrap it in its own tags, like maybe a span. Didn't like that. Maybe, okay. Yes, cloned if it's a, okay, so why doesn't that work? Store cloned. So yeah, so here we have store user, and then that's an option. Because my option contains an owned value. Oh, okay. So I do have to clone. Fine. Okay, fine. I'll clone you. We'll just unwrap. You win. The trait bound inner prop value vnode is not satisfied. But I thought that an attribute value was perfectly fine. Yeah, username is an attribute value. Store user, clone, unwrap. Oh. Probably need to tell it what to do, right? Username. Okay, now I'm curious. If I remove this span, okay, that does work. Okay, excellent. So then we say I want not just username, but now we want also your email. Now we get a C in our profile. Ooh, very unhappy. Unwrapped on a none value. Well, that's lovely of you. Okay, hold on. Let's come back to here. Let's re-log in. Go to profile. There we go. Okay, so we have the profile. It's when I hit refresh that it has the problem. You are on profile page, line 16. Oh, because I need an else. That would definitely help. There we go. Okay, so now we have profile loading if it's loading, and then as soon as it's loaded, we have our username and our email address. So now we can actually see the user info on the screen. So that is another. That is now display user info. Okay, cool. Let's log this out or commit this before I forget. Do we have any errors or warnings? We probably do. No, we don't. Okay, I will take it. Oh, did I just... Oh, how did I move you over there? Okay, whatever. You're fine over there. Oh, right. I did a bunch of stuff with the CLI thing last time too. So there's a bunch of things coming with this commit, but it's fine. Whatever. Git commit bunch of stuff with CLI. Don't worry. Just focus on front end. We added a profile page. Okay, excellent. README time. What's next? As an admin, I want to register a new app. So I'm a little bit concerned about this. Will I be able to do this with just the token that I have? Or do I need an API key, or do I need like the secret? I'm really curious about what I need for it, because if I do need that, it's not like a huge problem. It's just more of that I need to have this entire app is going to be different. Like the CLI actually would be better because then I can put an API key in there as opposed to just a full out username and password. So let's find out what do I need to do to create an application. Create an app. That is this lock icon here. And the lock icon means API key authentication. Okay. So I need to have an API key, and then sometimes I can get away with having a JOT token, but because I'm using a hosted backend, I don't have access to my access token, at least like directly. Indirectly, I can access it. I can maybe do some clever things with Hasura for this. Maybe grab something out of the cookie. Okay, let's see how to create an app. Create an app with a randomly generated ID. That's fine. I don't want to necessarily set what the app would be. Optional header because I only have one tenant. The ID to use for the new application, which must be unique across all tenants. Okay, so if not specified, a random one will be created. Okay, let me start building this out. So we're going to use Rapid API to test this out to begin with. And we're going to call this create app. It's going to go API application. You can see what this is looking like down here. Leaving application ID blank. Request body. Okay, so once application access control configuration EyeAP access control list. Oh, enterprise plan is required. So can't do that one. Authentication token configured enabled determines if users can have authentication tokens associated with this application. Okay, I'm okay with not enabling that. I bet the default is not. I bet the default is just basic. Clean speak. I don't have that configured. Data, an object that can hold any information about the application that should be persisted. Okay, so this is just application and data. So in our body, JSON, and this is lowercase. We'll have application. You're going to be type object with data, and you're another object. And then I'll just have, well, actually, no, I don't even need data. What am I thinking of? I don't need data for this, at least right away. Let's just do bare minimum. The additional SMTP headers to be added to each outgoing email. Don't care about that right now. Okay. Let's skip down and see, is there anything required? I mean, there's a lot of things we can do, which is nice, but I don't see, oh, application name. Okay, so application, the name of the app, and then for right now, we'll just call this awesome app. They do have that nice orange required on it, so now I can just sort of parse for that. Oh, okay. So I need a roles and then to add a role name. Okay, so I have a roles. You're going to be an array. And a role name would, I don't know, what would be an application that we could be making for awesome app? Maybe like I don't know, just we'll call this maybe we'll just say user. That'd be one role. A SAM LV2 configuration authorized redirect URLs. Oh, okay. So the redirect URL. One or more authorized URLs that may be specified to SAML v2. Okay. All right. So I need to set, this is that. So under application, we have you, and you are an object. And inside of that, we have authorized redirect URLs. And you are an array. And let's imagine that we're going to be just going to some other app that I don't have right now, but we're going to say that this is HTTP localhost colon like 9999, let's say. Maybe 9999 auth redirect. Okay. An issuer identifies the service provider and allows FusionAuth to load the correct application and SAML configuration. If you don't know the issuer, you can put anything in this field, and FusionAuth will display an error message with the issuer from the service provider when you test the SAML login. I'm not even, am I using SAML? The previous thing was for SAML too. I'm a little bit confused about the SAML thing because like, is that actually what it is, or is it something else? Here we have scopes. Right. Okay. So the names of what scopes we want. If I know what the idea of the scopes are, put those in there too. That would probably be better, but I could just do name scopes as well. Webhook IDs. Oh, wait. This is an example, right? Example request JSON. Okay. So oh, they have OAuth configuration with authorized origin URLs, authorized redirect URLs. Okay, so I want this to be an OAuth configuration instead of a SAML configuration. So this will be that. OAuth configuration, authorized redirect URLs, same thing. Okay, so that's good to go there. Enabled grants, I think, or was that? Yeah, enabled grants. So authorization code and refresh token. That's good. So, and this is all under OAuth configuration. So enabled grants in here. And then you are an array. And I want authorization code and refresh underscore token. They have roles here. My roles is very different. My role, that's not gonna do good. So this needs to be an array of objects. Where maybe I can say just your name is gonna be, let's just say your user. Oh. No, my best viewers are here. Okay. Sample configuration, ignoring that. Oh, those are default scopes. No, so wait, these are custom scopes, I think? Okay, so if I just do this on its own, and we're gonna come back to get user, and I want to copy. Can I copy you? No. So we're gonna put a cookie in here to see if. Actually, there's no point to doing a cookie, is there? What is that? Just want the access token, please. So authorization bearer you. So if we send this as a post, we got a 401. Okay. And can I see what the response is? No, just a 401. And out of curiosity, if I get no, I'll just do take that bearer token. Nope. Okay, so hold on. I did something wrong. That token may no longer be good. Maybe that's what it is. So let's find my token. Okay, there we go. So we have you. Copy you. Throw you in there. Okay, authorization. Oh, still a 401. Okay. And it is a decently long access token, so that looks right. And the access token works here. Because if I just copy this entire authorization header, you're good. Okay, so they are correct. The access token doesn't work. The only thing that I can use to create the application is an API key. Can I get an API key? Retrieve an API key. I can only get an API key with an API key. So, no. Which is okay. That's to be expected. But this lets me know that I cannot do this. So I can't register an app. Can I even see a list of the apps here? So there's retrieve an application. Okay, retrieve all the applications. No. API key. So I can't do that. Your brain has left for the day. Send more brain, please. I will do my best. Although I don't have much here myself either. So I don't know if mine will help. Okay, so actually, you know what? I want to, I'll like have a, oh, can I do like a dash for like, can't do. I want to register a new app. As an admin, I want to see a list of apps. We can't do that. As an unauthenticated user, I want to be able to see a list of applications. Can't do that. As an unauthenticated user coming from an app, I want to create an account. That we should be able to do. Left for the day? You think your brain is on a permanent vacation. Oh, that's nice. You should have it send back, like, you know, gifts or something from where it's going. Okay, so when we create an account, so let's log off, which I can do. Hold on. I think I can do that. Sessions. Okay, so I'm logged into FusionAuth and single sign-on. So if I log off you, now when I come here to now it wants me to log back in again. So let's imagine that I'm not logged in. I want to create an account instead. Well, that's just login. So what can I do to tell FusionAuth, hey, let me create an account? Which I think we can say for our application here. Self-service registration. Self-service registration will allow users to self-register using the FusionAuth login page. If the user does not yet exist, the user will be created and registered in one step. If the user already exists but has not yet registered, the user will be automatically prompted to register after a successful authentication. Perfect. Exactly what I want. Let's do basic. Oh, because I could create a form for this. But we're just going to do basic. Do I need you to confirm your password? Nah. It'll be fine. Login type, email is fine. Okay, and then I want to get your first name and your... Oh, I can't get both. Oh, that would have been nice if I can get like your username and your email address. But it looks like I can't do that. I wonder if that's like a more advanced one. So let's do user. name. So enabled, so that way we'll have it. So first name is required and then email. So if I save you, come back to here, hit refresh, log in. Hey, that appears now. So we can create an account. Actually, I'm curious. If I attempt to log in with an account that doesn't exist, so we'll call it nothing at nader.com. I wonder if this still creates cookies for me to use. I bet it. Oh, well, I don't know. It's easy for me to log out again. Invalid. Okay, so I have to create an account. Right, so username will be, we'll just call it nothing. Oh, cool. And then first name, nada. Keep me logged in. Register. I'm automatically logged in and brought in here, which is better than what was happening to me with Auth0, where you have to create the account and then also immediately log in again, which kind of sucks. So we can go to our profile. Ooh, but I'm not getting a profile loaded. It's just loading profile forever. So that makes me wonder what's going on with that. Missing field email. Right, because I only had a choice to do one or the other. So I just need to be a little bit more careful. So with our API, these are going to have to be options. Which means email verified is also an option. Given name, though, we've required. And preferred username, we've required. So we have that. Oh, but then we need to do our fun. So email will have to be, let's just do an unwrapper default. That will become, it's just nothing at all. Not necessarily what we did want to do in real life, but it works for this. Username is nothing. Email is just blank, which is fine. Okay, cool. So that's actually pretty simple. We are able to create an account coming in as an unauthenticated user. As an authenticated user, I would need to confirm that my email is valid when creating an account. Now this one is going to be a little bit tough because I don't have any email stuff set up for FusionAuth. So we need to figure out that. And I'm not 100% sure that I want to do that on stream. That might be like hey, I finished with all this stuff and then I have to do it. Then we'll talk about it later because I have like email things that I can set up for it, but I don't know, like I'm too scared I'll expose all that stuff. So out of curiosity, docs, can you, okay, so authenticate users, register users. You can register users using the user registration APIs. Okay, that's fine, but there's also anonymous users. That's cool. Okay, self-service registration. You can enable self-service registration, which we have now, which lets users create accounts without any interaction from your team. There are two kinds of self-service registration: basic, which is included in the community plan and lets you capture a limited number of fields on one page. Advanced, which requires a paid plan and lets you capture unlimited fields on multiple pages. If any user and a tenant logs into any application with self-service registration enabled, they will automatically have a registration created for that application, which makes sense. So in basic self-service registration, if you're building your own login and registration pages using the APIs, you can still use the basic registration setup and the administrative user interface, but you'll need to generate user-facing HTML yourself. Okay. And this is fine and all, but that doesn't tell me anything about validating that the email is real. Because that is a thing that a lot of people are concerned about. Like or I just say, screw it, I want, like, you know, your email optionally and a username. But then I don't know, a lot of people switch over to emails for a reason, and there's lots of business reasons for why you want to do that. I want to migrate users. I think it's any of these. Oh, verification. There it is. Oh, this is the overview. Gate users application registration. Okay, it can be configured to gate users' accounts until they verify by clicking a link, allowing them into an application. While users successfully authenticate, they won't be able to proceed further until they have verified their registration email, which I've kind of done manually myself, but I need to. This would be nicer if they like did it for me. Make sure you select the correct gating strategy that makes the most sense for your application. Most people only require email verification gating. So hold on, there's gate users application, gate users until they verify the email, register based email verification. Hold on. Email verification gating. Most folks will find email verification gating sufficient for their business needs. See adjacent tutorial here. Let's go take a look. We'll add that. We'll load that in. In this email verification workflow, we are simply checking that the user's email is real and fully owned by the user, which that is appropriate. In registration verification, the use case is slightly different. A Jared at piedpiper.com user might have access to Not, Hotdog, and Piper Chat. These applications are both part of the same parent company, Pied Piper. However, Pied Piper requires separate registration verifications to allow access to both Not, Hotdog, and Piper Chat through the same email account. Okay, yeah, and those are things that you can do with FusionAuth, but I don't need anything that sophisticated, at least for my use cases. And probably not for like basic introduction tutorials either. Oh, this feature is available only in paid plans. Okay. That would have been nice to find out earlier. It would be nice if they put this at the top. Wait. Note, email verification and application registration verification are not premium features. However, gating is. Gating stops the users from receiving a JOT or essentially authenticating any further. FusionAuth is enforcing a gate around if a user until they that is written a little bit weird. Until they verify their email registration. Okay, so basically, them doing it for me is something that I would need to pay them to do. Let's see. Rudra, hello. How are you doing today? Can I please explain how do all these amazing NeoVim plugins are made from scratch? I've never made a NeoVim plugin from scratch, although some members of the community have. If I remember correctly, though, it's just code, right? Like you have your choice of languages. You can write it in Vim script, which is the old-fashioned way to do it. It's the one that works with Vim, and that's also the reason why NeoVim works with both all Vim plugins and NeoVim plugins. But the other more modern choice is to use Lua. Lua is a great language. And basically you just go read whatever documentation for the APIs you want to do, and then just write the script. It's just code at that point. I don't really have much more details because I've never looked into it. So I don't know like the specifics of how it works, but the general idea is that it's just snippets of code that go into a directory and that you load in through your profile, and now you have a plugin working. Does that make sense, Rudra? I'm sorry I can't be more specific about that. Ooh, Diablo on Twitch has written plugins. It's not really that hard. Awesome. I would imagine that like simple plugins are pretty easy, right? Like I think that it gets harder when you're starting to do like really crazy stuff, but it's like less hard as the plugin side and more of like, what's the application you're trying to write inside of NeoVim? That's what's hard. FusionAuth ships with registration. Okay. So gating for actually, okay. So that makes sense. So I can't use this. Is this one free? This one's free, right? Registration-based email verification. Oh, Rudra, I don't know if you saw that message. There is a NeoVim channel on Matrix that might be very helpful. An important part of registration is validating a user's email address. This is a security measure to prevent bad actors from registering with an email address that is not theirs. It is also useful to secure users' accounts. For example, if a user mistypes their email address on registration, it is important that this error is picked up early and corrected. Email validation can assist in these cases. FusionAuth provides an email verification flow out of the box. So this one is Community Edition. This one's free. It is an email sent to the user with a link that contains a verification code. When the user clicks on the link, the verification code is checked against the database. If the code is correct, the user's email is marked as verified. This feature requires that you have an email server available with SMTP SMTP support. So I have to provide the email server, which I do. I have access to one. You can use your own hosted SMTP server or a third-party SMTP server, such as SES or SendGrid. I've used both of those in the past. They both work perfectly fine. Note, this document covers setting up verification of users' email based on the application they're registering for. Often you are running multiple applications and some require email verification and others do not. If you want every user in a tenant to verify their email address, you can configure this behavior at the tenant level rather than the application level. Many of the principles are the same, but different templates can be used. Okay, so first off, configure the tenant email server. To send emails, you will need to configure SMTP email server credentials for your tenant. Log into the FusionAuth administrative user interface, go to your tenant, and select the email tab. Scroll to the SMTP settings, and then configure this with all the fun information. So, if you were testing locally, you can use a mock email server like Mailcatcher. Ooh, that's awesome. Yes, okay. I like it. So it is a gem, Ruby stuff. Okay, do you have a Docker file? I do not see a Docker file. Okay, we are creating a Docker container. All right, so fun times. Let's do this over here. And I guess okay, so we have like FusionAuth, we have front end, we have that. I think what I want to do is we're going to take probably I'll call this like I don't want to necessarily we can call it Mailcatcher here. I'm wondering if I should put it inside of FusionAuth because it really is specific for FusionAuth. The only reason we even have this is for FusionAuth. But yeah, let's do that. So I'm gonna cd into FusionAuth. Now, oh right, I installed Eza. I haven't set my aliases to it yet, so I can do Eza ls or la or something like that. Okay, so I want to let's take. Oh, but it puts FusionAuth inside of the Docker container for FusionAuth. Okay, never mind. I don't want to do that then. Let's take Mailcatcher. Okay, so we're going to create a Docker file for this. And then in the meantime, let's Docker run IT auto remove when we're done. Port, let's say like 9011 is FusionAuth, so let's do 9010. And you're going to want port 1080. Okay, 1080. I don't really care about a volume or something like that right now. And I want to use Ruby, and we'll just go with latest. And let's just run shell. Okay, here we are. Here we are. So first off, we're gonna put the things that we're doing over into this Docker file. So we'll start with a from Ruby latest. I want to expose 1080. What was that port? No, it's expose. Oh, what is this take command? You don't have it in Linux. Take command is it's an alias that I get for free when I installed omyzsh, and really all it is just a cd to a directory. Sorry, a make dir and then CDs into that directory. That's all it really is. So it's just an alias for creating a directory and seeding into it all in one go, because most of the time that's what I end up doing. So I use it a lot. Okay, so we have that. That's good. Now, gem install mail catcher. Let's see what happens if I run this. Okay. Seems to be working. Okay, so that's happy. Then I just run mail catcher. Starting mail catcher. Ooh, but I need to expose this port too. 1025. Okay, so expose 1025. And so I can say this is the what's the comment for Docker files? I thought it was that. I don't think Helix knows what a comment is in here. Whatever. Okay, so on that, then we want our command to be just mail catcher. Then we go to here, okay. But of course, we made you 9010. Connection was reset. Okay. Oh, but it goes to 127.0.0.1. I need it to go to 0.0.0.0 in order to properly route it. Okay, so we need... I need to be able to give some kind of configuration. Oh, but here's this. To set up your Rails app, I recommend adding this to your environment's development.rb. No, but that's sending it out. So that's not what I want to do. Okay. Go to the web interface to quit. Cool. Oh, but okay, so I can set up the IP address for both servers. Okay, so can I do mail catcher IP 0.0.0.0? Error. Okay, but this is what I want to do. So dash dash IP and then 0.0.0.0. So okay, that's what I want. I'm okay with just letting them do whatever they want port wise. That'll be fine. They're contained inside of Docker. I could have had it run in a foreground, but in this case, I don't know if I need to. I wonder if it's going to try to auto quit. That's going to be interesting. Okay, so let's recreate our container here like this. And actually, you know what? At this point, I don't even need to recreate the container. Now we're just going to start building this, right? And are you saved? You are saved. And I think everything is looking good here. So I'll do a Docker. We're just going to do it as a manual build to begin with. Or should I just jump straight into... I always like to do a manual build. Manual, let's see, -t, mail catcher. Wait, how did I just completely forget how to spell? For some reason, it doesn't look right anymore. It's one of those things. Okay, go ahead and build that for me. You swear you're gonna alias sudo to fuck for all the times you've forgotten to run with sudo. Oh, but it's easy, right? With bang bang, because you could just do sudo bang bang, just reload the previous command with sudo instead. Yeah, here's what I recommend: alias fuck to that. Okay. So we built you. We can now do a Docker run. So instead of Ruby latest, we're now going to do mail catcher latest. Don't run with sh. Go ahead and I don't need IT. Go ahead and remove it. Yes. Okay, so that quit automatically like this. So I would need to daemon mode this with a name mail catcher. Mail catcher is not working. Okay, so I do need to have it run fully. So I think, what was that? -f, I think, or -f? -f for foreground. So that's what I want. Okay, run daemon mode, name mail catcher, port 9010 to 1080, mail catcher latest. There we go. Mail catcher is still running and it's up. And if I head over here, here is Mailcatcher up and running. So that's perfect. That's exactly what we want. Which is great and all, but I don't actually want to run this right now. So Docker, I'm going to stop. I'm going to go ahead and remove it too. And RMI won't remove Mailcatcher? Whatever. There. Okay, so we've cleaned up all that stuff. Now that I have the Docker file running with this, let's go into our compose. Oh, and I probably need to turn you off. So Docker compose down. Okay, so we have our DB, we have our Hasura, auth, EyeAP, and now Mailcatcher. Okay, you don't depend on anything, do you? So we have a build. Your build is going to be just Mailcatcher. Catcher. I don't need develop stuff, ports. We need both. So I want to expose. Oh, I want to expose. What ports do you want by default? $1025 and 1080. 1025, 1080. And then we have ports. And I only care about the 1080, and I'm going to do 9010 to 1080. Okay. Health check. Okay, for our test, we're going to curl silent, go ahead and fail to HTTP. We'll go host. In this case, it's 1080. Send everything to dev null. And I don't need to write status code. I just want you to be at 200. And whatever this is, that's fine. And okay, that should be good. And then I want EyeAP. Let's depend upon Mailcatcher here. Okay, so you have to have DB, the database, and Mailcatcher before you start creating people. Okay, so that's good. Now, I'm going to need to tell FusionAuth about this, but we'll get to that. Let's first set this up so that way you'll be able to connect to this from auth directly to Mailcatcher on that port. All right, I think everything else is built, so we just have to wait for Mailcatcher to be rebuilt, and then that was pretty fast. There's not much that needs to do. Oh, but building the main application takes a while, doesn't it? I forgot about that. This is going to be a while, isn't it? Although maybe not, right? I guess it's possible if it has the tarball, it has like the target and everything else. When it runs things to install, yeah, okay, that wasn't too bad. That wasn't too bad. When I did it this morning, it was pretty long. It was like 5-10 minutes or so, which is not fun. Okay, there we go. So everything is up and running, including mail catcher is up and healthy. So if we come back to here, mail catcher has been quit, but if I restart, mail catcher is back here. Okay, so I have no emails right now, but I can now come to FusionAuth. Tenant, our default tenant, email. Okay. Go to localhost port 1025. I don't have a username. I don't think we have any security. Default from address. This can be we'll do like the classic no reply. That's actually not a real email address. I don't have this email address. Default from name, we'll just do Brooks Builds. Additional headers, I don't think I need those. Email verification settings. Yes. Allow implicit verification. When, oh, and actually before I do that, I can send a test email. To address, okay. Sent. Oh, right. But it's not going to be localhost. It's going to be host is mail catcher. Because we're inside of Docker and it knows things by their DNS is named set up to the Docker name. So it's mail catcher, send test, email sent. We come over here. There we go. We have successfully set up a test email server for this. Perfect. Well, that's actually really nice because we can also like test emails. Okay, so email verification. So allow implicit verification. When enabled, the user's email address will be implicitly marked verified when completing other email-based workflows such as password change. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Like if you do something else that makes us know that you have an email address, there we go. Verify email when changed. When enabled, users will be required to verify their email address upon update. Yes. If they change it, they need to re-verify it. Verification template. I don't know which one I want to use. I don't have two-factor set up for, so maybe the two-factor removed. Verification complete template. I don't know which one, but it's not required. Verification strategy. Clickable link. Or a form field. Interactively enter a short code into a form field. Oh, so one is a long code and one is a short code. Okay, I'll do clickable link for right now. Unverified behavior. So let's do allow for right now. Delete unverified users. Enable to automatically delete users that have not completed their email verification after a configure period. No, that doesn't sound like a good idea. And then default templates. Okay, so if I save you, so now let's come back to here and let's do a self-registration, which means I need to log myself out again. Nothing. No, don't lock the account. Delete all sessions. There we go. Okay, so login with FusionAuth. We're going to sign in. Username. Oh, I need to change this to be an email address, don't I? Registration, advanced, email-based. With that, okay, good. If I did advanced, I need to create a form, I think. But it will do basic. Okay. Back to you. Create an account. Okay, so here's our email. So we want new user at, it's not really a user email that I have access to, but it shouldn't matter, right? New user is our name. Keep me signed in. Sure. Register. And we should see up here. I did not see that come in. And I'm missing preferred username again, but that's not a problem. We can fix that. Okay. So now you should be happy. But why didn't I get the email? Nothing got sent out. We just have this test still. Can I, yeah, I'll clear that. And if we go look at our users, new user, I am happy that the IP address that it's trying to expose me on is localhost. So that is good. I'm glad about that. Okay. New user. Has not been verified. Do I need to tell you to verify the emails? Oh, it would be under apps, right? Email. Tenant configuration will be used. Yeah, so whatever the tenant configuration is for this. So tenant default. Let's try saving that. Now that wouldn't automatically cause it to show up, right? No. Can I need to implement a login. Why don't I consider making some new tutorial series courses if you're really damn underrated, and I would love to see you teaching just anything. Well, thank you for that. I have 2 courses for sale on my LMS. I have a Docker course and I have a Rust SQLX course that I've created relatively recently. The Axum course is a little bit hesitant right now because it keeps on changing and breaking things. And so I don't want to create like another full course just to have to like redo it again. I'm waiting for 1.0 or at least to get more solid. And same thing with you right now. I'm not really sure what their state is. I don't necessarily want to like build a full new course for something that's going to like change soon, hopefully. Yeah, I can imagine that some of them are pretty long, especially the live streams, which I do have some plans for updating that. I want to start doing some smaller, shorter short form content. Maybe like some more focused, like maybe not full courses, but like here's just like one article or like one piece of what could be a course or something like that. I have plans for that. I just need to actually, do it. Sit down and do that kind of stuff. So I do have plans. All right, new user. Let's go ahead and sessions. Delete your session. Okay, let's do this again. If I log in, create an account, new user 2, just go to mail.com because it shouldn't be going to a real email address. It should be being caught by this. I guess I can give it one that would route. Password, that. Lloyd, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. How are you doing today? And how was your stream? Thank you so much for the raid. All good here. Very small raid, babe, but still a raid. Thank you so much for it anyways. How was your stream? What are you working on today? You're working on writing lambdas and Rust, specifically some email automation. Nice. I am working on testing and figuring out this entire FusionAuth centralized authentication hosted platform thing. It's the host is maybe a little bit weird. I'm basically saying hosted is not an application I wrote. FusionAuth is very much their own thing, but I can run it in Docker locally and I can host it myself, but it's also like an application they support and they maintain. So I'm able to just run updates whenever I want to, which is really nice. Lambdas aren't real, but they can hurt you. Yes. Yes, it's true. They can. Plus they're a pain to test. That's what I found is that they're really painful to test once they're deployed. Like locally, it's like, oh, the logic works, but then it's like, oh, what weird things are being called to them or something else. It's like it's such a long, painful test cycle. So right now we're working on trying to figure out how to get email registration validation set up. So that way, when we register a user, I receive an email from them. So we have mail catcher set up here, which is a mail server, and we have FusionAuth configured to send emails to us. And just to make sure that I did like hit save or something, if I hit send test mail to address, here, let's just do test@test.com. If I send, that shows up here. So no reply at brooksbills.com to test@test.com. Yeah, these aren't going out for real life. They're just going into here. So you can configure additional settings around registration verification in the application you set up for registrations. Navigate to application, your application, and then select the registration tab. Okay, so application, EyeAP, registration tab, verify registration. That's okay. Use whatever that template is. I haven't looked at it. Clickable link is fine. Okay, so we're going to go with this. All right, so if I save, now I'm curious, can I force that user to become verified now? So like new user 2, can I go into you and say resend email verification? Cool. So I could. So if I send that, submit. Now I'm not sure with Mailcatcher if it's an automatic thing or if I need to hit refresh. Huh, but I'm not seeing it. Come on. So does that mean my email template is wrong? Here you can specify if a registration should be sent to the user. Toggling verify registration switch on will reveal some further options. You can choose the email template to send for registration verification. Choose the email verification template, which I don't have. We don't have an email. Okay, so maybe that's our problem. I don't have one. We have 2 templates, so we need a name, email verification, default subject. Welcome to EyeAP. Now verify yourself. From email, otherwise this would be the default, right? Default from names, this is fine. Oh, I can just do HTML. Oh, I can localization too. Okay, so let's just do text. Hi, verify yourself, please, or else. I mean, preview is just going to be that, but okay. I don't know this is going to be helpful. I don't know why I wonder if like I'm missing templates. I don't think so. Okay, let's head back to our application. Okay, registration, verify registration, verification template. Oh, that wasn't anything. Oh. Okay. It's not like I can refresh this. Okay, so that wasn't it. Huh. Form fields, lambdas, message templates? No. Now I'm confused. I mean, I guess I've been confused for a while. So if I don't have, okay, so we need to figure out how to create a email verification template. Let's see if we can find it in here. So okay, these are a lot of them. That feels nice. Email verification, okay. For example, below is the email body of the email verification template as it is shipped with FusionAuth. Yeah, I feel like I'm missing something. If you'll be handling email verification yourself, you'll need to update this URL to be that of your own. You will notice that one replacement variable in this template is named verification ID. It's an image, so I can't actually see what it is. But it looks like so I can use if statements like that. To complete your email verification, click on the following link. You also have this default from name. Oh, wait. What happened to my... Oh, my template's gone. Huh, interesting. Okay, so leave generate a blanket ID. Okay, so let's call this custom email verification. Verify your email or else. From email default, text, click this or you are a terrible person and you hate kittens. And I want to go to HTTPS. Okay, so go /email/verify. So TP localhost 9011 email verification ID. Verification ID. It's camel case, right? Yeah. Oh, and then question mark tenant ID. User.tenant ID. Okay, I think that's it. So if I wait, did I never save it? Maybe I never saved it. Null. What does that even mean? Oh, I have to have both. Fine. Oh, missing a slash? Where there? Where am I missing a slash? HTTP:// localhost 9011 email verification ID. Oh, closing bracket there. Wait, why aren't you taking the closing bracket? Slash. There we go. Okay. That took a while. That was it, but that was not the problem. Yeah. There was one of several problems that we were having there. Okay, so now I have my custom email verification here. So if we come back to applications, EyeAP, registration, there we go. Custom email verification. Okay, save. Now, if I go to users, so we have no emails in here. Log in, create account, 3@3.com. 3. There we go. Okay. Here we go. Verify your email or else. Click this link or you are a terrible person. You hate kittens. So then I will click on you. Confirmation required. To confirm you wish to verify your email address, click continue. Sorry, the request contains an invalid or expired verification ID. Hold on. That's the verification ID. Did I do this wrong? What's the template supposed to look like? Okay. Base API email verify / verification ID. So localhost 9011 email verification ID question mark tenant ID. I mean, that looks right. Wait, did I put a WQ in here somewhere? That was just a problem with the link. Okay. Let's try again. But let's actually do the email template correct. So for HTML templates, can I just do A? Okay, cool. So that should work. Save you. Okay, users. Okay, we got no emails. Let's say, hey, 3. I want to resend email verification. Submit. So resend email verification doesn't go out, which is weird. Because registration did. I don't get that. Is that like a different template that it needs or something? That is confusing. Okay, so I don't see anything else that I can do. I guess I'll just save you and register another user. Now, I also wonder if it's because I'm not keeping myself logged in. Well, let's do that. Okay, here's my new one. Huh. Complete the form to request new verification email. So yeah, but I don't get a second one. Strange. Okay. I wonder if this is because I used Kickstart to create everything, and therefore it didn't give me any of the default email templates. I bet that's what's going on. And so if we come back to let's actually look at our Kickstart. So this is what we have. We have API, we created an API key. And then all I'm really doing is I'm creating a single account. And creating a role. So I guess I need to look up Kickstart. All right, so where is this? This is Kickstarter, okay, development side. Okay, so if I search for email on this page, there's 24 matches. Include text files. When making an API request to create an API in an email template or request which may have lengthy values, it may be helpful to separate these values into separate files. Okay, that's fine. But what about default ones? Okay, so that's not really helpful. They do have the default, like there is the thing to create the default templates, or at least create one like yourself though, which is not like given to you, which is sort of like it's mentioned that you get your own template. Email variables. This could be helpful. Oh, available email templates. Okay, this is what I want. Email verification. Aha. This is what I want to see. So, oh, they had client ID in here too. Oh, but I didn't see that in their link. So if I just copy you, oh, this is what I want. So we copy you. We'll come back down to our email template. Throw you in there. Wire. Okay. There we go. So you should be fine. So if I save you, okay. New user 2. Go ahead and resend email verification. The second TOC is retrieving default templates. Did I just miss that in the documentation? Was there something to like do that? That'd be nice. And I wonder if that's why things are a little bit weird for us right now. Because I bet there's something not for Kickstart. The second TOC. So is there something in here where I can say like reset these? That just resets search. In the docs for templates. Okay. In order to version control the templates or customize them, you can use the admin UI, but you can also pull retrieve them all by using the following command. This will place all of the email templates in a current working directory. Is there a specific spot that I need to put this in? See, okay, so wget. Yeah, okay, so this just goes and gets it, but it doesn't tell me where to put it. Yeah, okay, so I don't see anything special in here. Yeah, I'm very confused about why it's not sending the second email. I might have to ask them about that. Okay, so in the meantime, let's try registering again. We're on 5 now. All right, that's not working. That's weird. Huh. Okay. I don't know what I can do about this until I I don't know, figure out something else. So I think we're gonna have to move on from email template, like email verification, to something else. Then maybe I'll be able to chat with FusionAuth people offline and see anything about like what I can do about it. It's sort of erratic when I have access to them, so I'm not exactly sure when that will be. So I'll let you know when I find out. But you know what? It's already 1 o'clock, and I need to go grab lunch for myself. So I think we're gonna go ahead and call it a day for right now. Thank you everybody for coming in and hanging out with me. It was a lot of fun. We got, I feel like we got some good things done here. Let me go ahead and commit all this before I forget. Add all that stuff. You're all good. Okay, so we are tried to add email validation. And then I guess if I really wanted to do like one really quick check or test, I could say, all right, applications. I think they said it was a paid feature, but maybe it won't yell at me. Gated. License required. Okay, that's what I thought. Yeah, so license required is basically the payment thing, and payment gets pretty expensive. And so it's one of those like, hey, if you really, really want that, they will do it for you, but you have to, you have to give them money for it. All right, everybody, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I'll be back tomorrow morning around 9:45 a.m. again, Mountain Time, to continue working on this project. We'll probably move on from the email side and figure out what's next after that, and then sort of we'll come back to email at the end. So with that, have a great rest of your day, and I will see you next time. Bye.